News from the street, 919fm.com. Here's what's happening.
Good afternoon, I am Chanel Webb with the news on the street 919 FM. Now in the headlines, budget today, HGC appoints new general managers, a Tobago woman fatally stabbed, and internationally, a Mexican church, 10 dead after a roof collapse. And now the news in detail. As Finance Minister Colum Imbert prepares to unveil the 2024 fiscal budget today, Works Minister Rohan Sinanan has confirmed that extensive road paving efforts will continue in the new fiscal year as a national priority. In the pre-budget interview on Sunday, Sinanan emphasized the commitment to ongoing road improvement projects, saying massive road paving around the country, a continuation of all jobs and road improvement will continue in the new fiscal year. He highlighted the relentless pace of current road work, saying since January, we have been doing day and night road paving. We did not slow down when the financial year came to an end. We will be continuing in the next fiscal year. Everything is in place and we are doing the final touching up. The full highway down to Dunlop roundabout will be opened very soon, maybe within the next week, he revealed. The Housing Development Corporation has appointed 3 general managers and boards to 3 subsidiary state enterprises in order to increase efficiency. In a newspaper release published yesterday, the HGC said this followed a cabinet decision of August 25, 2022. Romel Ramarak was appointed general manager of the Trinidad and Tobago Housing Development Corporation Construction Company Limited. Newman George was appointed chairman and Keith Thomas was appointed deputy chairman. The directors are Adande Pigot, Winston Kurtzalandi, Zayda Rajunath, Shaika Matthew, and Jamel Reed. According to the agency, the company will manage all elements of property development, including land acquisition, urban planning, project and construction management, and the provision of financial solutions to undertake construction projects. Jeremy Campbell was appointed General Manager of the TNT Housing Development Corporation Asset Management Company Limited. Joanne Dioraj was appointed Chairman, and Dante Salmon Carrington was named Deputy Chairman. The directors are Jeffrey Reyes, Cherise Smith, Robert Green, and Gail Latouche. The HGC said the company will complete the sales of the finished housing units and will continue to manage and provide administrative support for housing development under its purview until handed over to purchasers. Wesley George was appointed General Manager of the TNT Housing Corporation Facilities Management Company Limited, while Keston McQuilkin was appointed Chairman and Kilai Gebkor Deputy Chairman. Directors are Giselle McFarlane, Aliyah Hussein, Sharon Achi, Suzanne Sherlan, and Andel Andrew. This company will focus on property management, including the maintenance of rental house units, the maintenance and the management company portfolio, and partnering with regional corporations and other external entities to upkeep the communities and promote sustainable community development. Over on the Sister Isle, the murder of a Tobago woman on Saturday night has pushed the island's total to 10 for 2023, matching last year's total. 39-year-old Ryan Henry, also known as Lucy, of Canaan Feeder Road, is the latest murder victim. According to police reports, shortly after 9 p.m. on Saturday evening, the 39-year-old Henry had an altercation with another woman before she was stabbed several times. She was taken to the Scarborough General Hospital, where she succumbed to her injuries. Now internationally, at least 10 people, including 3 children, were killed when the roof of a church collapsed in northern Mexico. The collapse happened on Sunday afternoon local time as around 100 people were attending a baptism at Santa Cruz Church in Ciudad Madero. 60 people were injured, at least two of them seriously, and dozens were trapped underneath the rubble. Local residents rushed to the building with shovels and pickaxes to try to free those trapped. Search and rescue teams have since arrived at the scene, and 2 cranes are on site to remove the debris. Governor of Tamaulipas has said that all those missing have been accounted for. Rescue workers used thermal imaging cameras to ensure no one remained under the rubble. It is not yet clear what may have caused the collapse, but the mayor of Ciudad Madero said it was probably due to structural failures. We now head on over to Kyle Cumberbatch with the weather report.
Thank you, Chanel. Today we'll have fairly cloudy conditions at times with some light to moderate showers over broad areas. There's a medium to high chance of some of these showers becoming thundery at times. These conditions would continue, however, expect dramatic improvement as night progresses. In the vicinity of heavy showers or thunderstorms, expect gusty winds, frequent lightning, street and/or flash flooding. We are currently experiencing a yellow level weather alert, so be careful. Last night's minimum temperature in Piaco was 25 degrees Celsius and in Crown Point 28 degrees Celsius. Today's max forecasted temperature in Piaco is 32 degrees Celsius and in Crown Point 30 degrees Celsius. Our waves may reach up to 2 meters in open waters in the leewards and fly below 1.5 meters in sheltered areas. Thank you. My name is Kyle Cumberbatch. That was your weather report on the Street 919 FM, and back to you, Chanel.
Audio Jungle.
And now in sports, in the headlines, recorded the second slowest time in winning the Trinidad Derby Stakes last week Monday at the Santa Rosa Park in Arima. In the headlines, stopped the clock in 2 minutes 10.35 seconds, 1/5 of a second faster than the slowest time, which was registered by Sweet Revenge in 2007. Mucho Tempo had a run a second slower in 2004 in what has now become the 5th slowest derby. Academy Awards victory in 2 minutes 10.15 seconds 7 years ago, and Millennium Reign time of 1/5 of a second faster in 2002, and are now the 3rd and 4th slowest on the list. On the opposite side of the coin, Juiceman ran the fastest derby at Santa Rosa in 2019 when he stopped the clock at 2 minutes and 5 seconds flat. Top of the class had registered a time of 2/5 of a second slower when he ran away from the opposition 16 years earlier, and this time was less than a 1/5 of a second faster than the one posted by Bruce Underloose in 2009. Terremoto came across from Jamaica just for the Derby in 1988, and his winning time of 2 minutes 6.35 seconds is now the 4th fastest since centralization and rounding out. The top 5 is Big Man in Town, who stopped the clock in 2 minutes 7 seconds 10 years ago. The locally bred top of the class is now the only member of the top 5 which did not hail from Jamaica. The Derby was contested over a mile and 130 yards from 1935 until 1969, and Aurelian, 1 minute and 48 and 1/5 of a second, registered the fastest time in 63. Exactly 30 years later, Renegade posted the fastest time over 1,890 meters in the final Derby at the Savannah. After Soca Harmony did the trick last year, in the headlines is the second straight filly to win the Derby, and it is the first time in at least 6 decades since members of the fairer sex have won back-to-back editions of the country's most prestigious race. The daughter of headline news also became the third unbeaten Derby winner at Santa Rosa, following Academy Award in 2016 and Cape Canaveral 2 years later. In the headlines, also became the first filly to sweep the Triple Crown Series, Guinea's Midsummer Classic and Derby since Chip Chip in 1967. The Ladies Stakes Chestnuts is the fifth Triple Crown in Arima, following in the hoofprints of Carnival Messiah in 2001. Top of the class 03, Momentum in 14 and Wise Guy in 2020. Racing continues at the Santa Rosa Park on Saturday, October 28 with the 12th round of the Arima Race Club's 2023 season. Recapping the headlines, budget today. HGC appoints new general managers. Tobago woman fatally stabbed. And internationally, 10 dead after a Mexico church roof collapse. Good afternoon, I am Chanel Webb, and that was the news on the street, 919 FM.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.